Absolutely. It's such a hand-in-glove relationship, really, for three different reasons. Number one, the loyalty program lets you tag and track customers in a way that you might not get just through their transactions alone. So just better data. That could justify the cost, the overhead of the loyalty program right there. Number two, being able to deepen relationships with the customers, get them to buy a little bit more, engage a little bit more, do stuff that they wouldn't do otherwise. And number three, it gives companies some tactics, some leverage to be able to treat different customers differently, which is certainly a big deal in all my work on customer centricity.
Welcome to The Ripple Effect, the podcast that takes you on a journey through the minds of Wharton faculty. I'm your host, Dan Loney, and in each episode, we'll be diving deep into the inspiration behind the groundbreaking research that Wharton professors have conducted and exploring how their findings resonate with the world today.
Well, for some time, the food industry, the hotel industry, and the credit card industry have used loyalty rewards as a key ingredient to keep customers coming back to their stores as well as using their products. But how important are these programs as businesses in those sectors look to strengthen the connection with the consumer? Pleasure to be joined here in studio by Peter Fader, who is a professor of marketing here at the Wharton School. Great to see you. How are you?
I'm doing well, Dan. I'm always happy to talk to you, and I'm always happy to talk loyalty.
Let me start, if we can, kind of with the path that loyalty and these rewards programs have taken over the last couple of decades. And just from your perspective, how important you think they are to these companies, not only now, but moving into the future.
Oh, sure. And you forgot to mention the sector where it's probably the biggest of all, airlines.
Right. Yeah.
In fact, it's airlines that brought us the loyalty programs as we know them today. It was American Airlines in particular. It was Bob Crandall, a Wharton alum, who kicked it all off in 1981. And what's happened with the airlines is it becomes such a monster is that's kind of where all their profitability is actually through the loyalty programs and the arrangements they have with various different banks. And there it's a little different than it is with some of the other sectors you mentioned. It's both in terms of how they use the loyalty programs as well as the economics behind it. But it's become a big deal everywhere to the point where a lot of companies are jumping in and doing it because they have to, even if they don't quite know why or how to manage it or how to measure the effectiveness of it.
So you talk a lot in your research about lifetime value with the customer. It seems like there's an element of loyalty rewards that connects back into lifetime value because all of these companies are looking to get those customers and keep them for as long as they can.
Absolutely. It's such a hand-in-glove relationship, really, for three different reasons. Number one, the loyalty program lets you tag and track customers in a way that you might not get just through their transactions alone. So just better data. That could justify the cost, the overhead of the loyalty program right there. Number two, being able to deepen relationships with the customers, get them to buy a little bit more, engage a little bit more, do stuff that they wouldn't do otherwise. And number three, it gives companies some tactics, some leverage to be able to treat different customers differently, which is certainly a big deal in all my work on customer centricity. So not to say that loyalty programs are essential, but they have to be seriously considered by any company that wants to be customer-centric.
How much value, then, do companies put into what a loyalty program can mean to their bottom line?
And that's the big problem, is they don't measure it particularly well. Very often they'll just say, just how much stuff did we sell through the loyalty program? But it's hard for them to measure the customer's actually going to stay with us a little bit longer. They're going to do more with us, not only when they're getting or redeeming points, but truly, if we can measure the way we deepen relationships, and if the loyalty program is letting us do that, they can be enormously profitable. So a lot of companies sometimes try the loyalty program because it's a competitive imperative. Oh, everyone else is doing it, we have to as well. But then because they don't know how to manage it or measure it real well, they'll sometimes either give up on it or they'll make major changes to it. They never quite get their arms around it, which is too bad because they have all the data analytics technology to be able to really do it well.
Well, off of that, then the company has to be very aware of what those metrics are in terms of giving out those rewards, making sure that they're not going maybe too far and asking too much of a customer to get a reward, but hit that sweet spot so that the customer feels like I'll keep coming back and I'm going to be able to get something down the line.
That is right. And it's not only going too far that way, but it's going too far the other way as well, which might sometimes they're giving too much away.
Yeah.
It's these loyalty programs can be a very, very addictive drug. If we just give out a few more discounts, a slightly deeper. So actually, there's an amazing case study playing out right now before our eyes in the coffee market. And we all understand Starbucks has been changing a lot with its loyalty program. We can talk about that.
Yeah.
But there's the new kid in town, Luckin Coffee.
Oh, okay.
The Chinese behemoth. Starbucks entered China very successfully. They've been blown out of the water by Luckin. Luckin has opened 2 stores in the U.S. now, and they give away very generous discounts. And again, sometimes it's hard to say how much of it is due to the loyalty program per se, or just discounts that they just throw out there. But they're just much more dependent on those discounts. There's a chance they can give Starbucks a good run for their money, but are they going to do so from a lifetime value standpoint, or are they just kind of, in some sense, buying loyalty that's not real loyalty? Who knows?
And so let me ask you about Starbucks, because I'm somebody that's in that realm. My kids like to drink Starbucks. I do as well. And it's interesting to see how they have, with the changes of CEOs that they've had in the last couple of years, the change of mindset has occurred about how much do we want to potentially give to the consumer? How much do we not want to? Some of those offers where if you buy 5 drinks over the course of a week, you get 70 extra bonus points. Those went away for a while.
That's right.
And now they're just starting to come back a little bit.
Yeah, so they keep blowing like the wind. And sometimes that's good. The loyalty program shouldn't be static. You should be adaptive with it. But sometimes they're doing things that are either trendy or just, some executive saying, just do that. Without a lot of accountability for it. So it's a very specific example. They recently took away a discount that they gave people if they brought in their own cup.
Yeah.
That's right. It used to be give you just a whole bunch of points. And where'd they come up with that number? Who knows? They just made it up.
Yeah.
And they said instead, now we're not just going to give you that automatic whatever it was, 25 bonus stars or something.
Yeah.
Now we will double the number of stars we give you based on the overall size of your transaction. I love that.
Is there a formula that companies have in terms of trying to figure out how much they want to get from the customer before they're giving something back?
So it should be tied to lifetime value. So if these companies were smart and they could calculate lifetime value and they would trust it, then they would use that both to decide what kinds of, whether it's discounts, benefits, perks they're offering, as well as evaluating the return on investment of offering some of those things. Again, Starbucks has been fairly clever with it, trying to come up with a wider range of things. It's not just buy 9, get 1 free.
Yeah.
In fact, even giving, they're into all their partner perks as well, trying to incentivize their employees. So they've been a little bit more kind of creative, innovative with it, but they don't necessarily evaluate these things on a financial basis.
So then for a company like Luckin that you mentioned, as they are starting to build out their presence, you say they're very generous. How generous do they want to be because they're trying to connect with the consumer against an established behemoth like Starbucks?
That's right. So they're at this point just trying to buy a customer base. Let's just give everything away. Right. They have very, very, very deep pockets.
Right.
And so they're hoping that they can just attract a bunch of people to try it and then maybe get them to make that second purchase, and then just hoping and praying that they'll be locked in at that point, and maybe they could kind of tamp down the discounts and so on. But it's not clear whether that's a profitable way to go, and I just don't think they're looking at it from this longer run lifetime value standpoint.
Are we seeing in general companies take a longer look at whether or not a rewards program is right for them? To incorporate as a component of their operation so they can be successful, they can get more data, they can keep more customers over a longer time.
Obviously, it varies a lot from one company to another, and you'll often see it through the things they're doing in the loyalty program or adjacent to the loyalty program. So, for instance, one of the things I'm a huge fan of is, in addition to the loyalty program, at the tippy top level, instead of just saying, you're the best, you're the kind of, gold, whatever, we're going to throw stuff at you, to have a paid membership membership program on top of the loyalty program. So, for instance, Best Buy does this.
Right.
So you have your Best Buy total rewards, buy 9, get 1 free, whatever it is, typical kind of thing with your points and so on. But then on top of that, they have their I forget what they call it, but their Total Tech program, where you pay $200 a year and you get all kinds of benefits. You get the Geek Squad to come to your house and fix anything. Most people wouldn't want that. And therefore, most companies wouldn't want to institute something like that because only a few people want it.
Right.
But those few people are incredibly valuable. So if we recognize that those people are different and should be not only part of the loyalty program, but part of something special, that's a company that's really thinking it through very, very carefully and recognizing it shouldn't just be a kind of one-size-fits-all loyalty program.
Like everything we are seeing right now, is there an element of this process as it continues to develop out where artificial intelligence may play a role in kind of making these determinations down the road?
Yeah, so I'm not sure how well AI is going to help us on the financial aspects of it, at least not yet.
Yeah.
But it will help us a great deal in figuring out what kinds of features and functions and benefits and capabilities. So what is it about our best customers that makes them different? And let's build some of that stuff in as perks in the loyalty program. AI can be just really, really helpful to broaden the nature of the program, to make it more than just discount oriented, to make it more experiential, to make it more emotional. It can be really helpful there. And that's going to be important for companies to do, not only to break away from the pack, but to try to find out what are the features and functions and benefits and capabilities that uniquely identify those top customers. That if they're interested in visiting the back of the store and seeing how the employees do the thing,
right,
not just getting the discounts, it's going to help us better filter out customers to know who are the really good ones, and to start then building more programs around them.
But seemingly the main reason why companies do this is to get more foot traffic, to get more people in the door at their location.
Well, I kind of disagree.
Okay.
It's to build deeper relationships.
Okay.
So as a great example, let's talk about McDonald's. So McDonald's launched their loyalty program and their mobile app a couple of years ago. And talking to Jamie Guthrie, the senior executive there who basically runs it all, he says, we want to turn McDonald's from a transaction company to a relationship company.
Right.
So foot traffic isn't enough. If you get a bunch of one-and-done people, or people are just coming in to chase the discounts, that's not nearly as good as getting the right people's feet coming into the store.
How much of a challenge then is that for using McDonald's or another fast food company as that example, when realistically I think the perception by the consumer is get into the drive-through, get your food, and keep going?
That's a super good point, that you don't want the deepened relationship to get in the way of convenience. You have to know when to turn it on. You have to know when to turn it off.
Right.
It takes much more sophistication. Again, the AI can help with that quite a bit. That's part of the Luckin story, is that you order, the coffee's ready for you, you pick it up. There's no chit chat with people there. So again, very different than Starbucks. It's putting in all this extra effort to write your name and some happy slogan on the cup or something like
Smiley
that.
face.
Now the thing is, even for Starbucks, sometimes it really should be quick in and out. I'm late for work,
Sure.
and other times it's I want to loiter. I want it to be the third place. Mm-hmm. It can't be one. It can't be the other. And in fact, you can't even say it's going to be one or the other for a given customer. Even for a given customer, it's going to change from time to time. And that's where the data, the AI, and the willing to invest in these kinds of insights instead of just saying, listen, if it's not getting us foot traffic, we're not going to do it. Sometimes you need to go a level deeper than that.
Peter, thanks very much for your time today. I appreciate it. Peter Fader, marketing professor here at the Wharton School.
Thank you for listening to The Ripple Effect. We hope you found this episode informative and engaging. Don't forget to subscribe and leave us a review so that we can continue to bring you the best insight from the Wharton School.